Hello. Right, let's play some Euro Truck. So, we're doing a little thinking, and where is he? Yeah, this guy. Looks like a skin stealer. Lovely natural smile. You know what though? I've just spotted this proper British chap right here. Nah, skin stealer. And Heston Humbersnickle is the name. Fantastic. Right. Let's get going. I've played this game a bit before, or quite a bit, and I just thought it might be nice to make a few videos of these and see how it goes. That took a hot minute. Alright. City. I've been thinking on this too. I'm thinking Swansea because it's just, you know, it's like it doesn't really get much worse. Actually, I suppose it could be worse. Maybe we can start in like Liverpool or something, you know, really far away from mainland Europe. All the way up in Aberdeen, you know, that's awful actually. Yeah, okay, Aberdeen it is. I've also been thinking a lot. I want to do the 2007 DAF XF105. It's along here somewhere. There's my starting truck. It doesn't really matter all that much, doesn't it? Because you don't really ever use this truck. Just the first little thing, and it affects what dealer you unlock right away. Here it is. What a beast. Whopping 510 horsepower. 2,500 Newton meters of torque. Wow. Unstoppable. Nah, I don't want a tutorial. Right. Time for our dream job of driving a truck. It sure is my dream job. That's for sure. FPS, let's get that fixed. And while I'm at it, set my controls as well. Here we are. Then I set this to the... I am working with a big truck wheel. It's a massive thing. So I have to... Unfortunately, all the keybinds are set for me, except for a few, for some reason. Well, I just don't think these are really default, but I can... I like to set these. And then I'm gonna change some gameplay settings. I want things to be a bit more realistic. Fucking difficult. Oh. So let's a bit more realistic. So let's lower that stability. And braking intensity too. 80% still a bit higher. 70. Let's go 70. Brake stability on that lower as well. Steering, rotation, I like that. That's just real nice. Air brake, simulation, realistic fuel consumption, get it all in there. Right. That should be all. Right, let's go look at this truck. FPS is still at 30. You know what? I didn't apply my graphics settings in it yet. Figured so much. There we go. Much smoother. It make no difference to you, but it's all the difference to me. This is a really ugly interior. That dash texture is nasty. But you know what? It it will get me to point A. No, it'll get me to point B, won't it? Right, let's set off. What are the gears like on this thing? Yeah, that's all fine. It's got a range on it? Yeah, okay. Alright. Oh, what are we carrying? That's worth a check. I want to find out what I'm taking and where I'm going. Right, so from Aberdeen to Aberdeen, that's great. Very long journey that. It's going to take a while to get comfortable. 22 tons of sawdust panels. Wow. What a way to kick things off. Sawdust panels. Alright. Yeah. Nothing special, but oh well. Got some really interesting stuff for my first deliveries before, but you know. I am in the UK. I'm too to driving in Europe in this game. Bloody hell. Look at me being a loony. Right, let's head off. Whoa. Something is up with this steering sensitivity. Steering way more than I want to be. That's quite weird. Let's see if we can get that fixed. God, the first 20 minutes of this video is just going to be me adjusting the controls, isn't it? Just ever so slightly too much. There we go, that's more like it. So, reason why I'm doing a Euro Truck playthrough, because let's be honest, it may not be to me, but this is quite the... It's not a very stimulating game, especially to watch. But I figured, you know, just a little different kind of thing you fall asleep whilst watching, you know. That's what I do with Euro Truck videos on YouTube. I sit down with them and they're maybe like an hour or so long and I'm asleep by half an hour. That's all this is for. You know, if I'm doing it for myself, if I'm having fun, that's more important, isn't it? You don't have to watch this. You know what? This DAF, it isn't half bad. I will say it's... It'd be a hell of a lot worse, but I'm actually not minding it. I just don't get what's up with my steering sensitivity. Still seems a little... No, that you know what, that is pretty spot on. Right, here we are. God, that was long. Wasn't ready for... No, this steering sensitivity's way off. What is that about? I don't want to park without having that sorted, so... Let's do 15. Let's see if that's any better. That is still just way too much. You know what it could be? It could be the steering rotation is just like an... Ah! Yeah, that would explain it. It's at 1800 degrees. How many degrees is this wheel? I think it's something like 900. Right. That may be better. There we go. There we go. Alright. Where are we parking? I didn't actually set the parking. That would help if I did that now. Okay. Just there. Nothing crazy, nothing too complicated. Let's get our hazards on. Right. I don't know how much I'm going to do with this. I reckon I'm just going to keep this going and just post a video Euro Truck whenever I feel like it. You know, not very consistent, but just every once in a while. Just don't get tired out that way. I think of the Minecraft series, it's just, with a server, so you can't really guarantee it keeps going. But I'm going to try some single player Minecraft and also Terraria, and then I can be in control of that. But at the same time, I must say I could have gone on that server a bit more. I'm to blame. I like it when, you know, I choose when I play. I don't want freedom. That was not the best parking, but it will do. No, I'm not too fussy right now. This is my first time trying to record this. That's how I knew before where I was going to start and what I was going to name my guy. It's because, well, the first time there was some weird audio bug. There was some issue with the audio about 15 minutes in, so I had to re-record. Company name, okay, I don't actually know what I'm going to name this. My name was Humbersnickle. Maybe I should do something... Snickle Logistics. Wow, that is something. I like this logo. I don't like any of the new logos. They're just way too corporate. Whereas basically, these logos here were the original in the game, and then recently they've added a bunch of new ones, and they just look really naff. Well, not naff, but just... they're missing a bit of character. Right, here's our HQ. That's looking fancy, that. Job time. Right. Let's do price per distance. Water tank to Glasgow. Or drive a rusty Renault down to Carsile. What? Or I make myself suffer. Take an Iveco, somehow even worse than the Renault. I don't really feel like taking even more sawdust panels. Let's take the water tank. Let's keep things daft, you know? Oh, I regret that already. Wow. Yeah, that is something. That is one of the interiors of all time. Oh, this looks very naff. Don't know why I care so much about the interiors, but... I mean, I guess the cameras are functional, aren't they? And I've got an interesting trailer as well. That's quite nice. Let's get on with it. We are off to Aberdeen. Is there anything interesting along the way? Any sort of discoverables? We could take this route down here. Oh, we're going to a... Is that a quarry or a... I think that's a quarry. That's nice. Oh. Right. Oh, this shouldn't be too bad. This is quite lightweight. Hate that blinker sound. Oh, look at me stalling the engine like a moron. That lag spike isn't ideal. That's going to catch me out at some point. I wonder, because this is quite, these lower gears aren't doing all that much. I wonder if I'm going to start in gear 3 or something. Just sort of skip things in a truck like that. I suppose I should be saying lorry. What is that sound? Is that the truck? Is that some kind of sensor? That is awful. Bloody hell. What an awful sound. Ah, Scania dealer though. That's nice. Good thing I came this way. I think the other one was just a recruitment agency. I don't remember, I wasn't paying attention. See, I've had an idea for this where I get a little camera view in the corner, like you know how people have like a webcam. I'm thinking I do a webcam, but for my steering wheel, so you can sort of see what I'm doing whilst I'm driving. Problem is, I don't have a webcam where I am at the moment. So maybe for the second or third episode, I'll see if I can get that in. But for now, you're just going to have to deal with just the gameplay footage. And I've chosen a short route today, because I think first episode, just keep things nice and short, nice and brief. Short little introduction, prelude to the actual series. Heston Humbersnickle will have loads to come though. I'm way too tight on that turn yet. Second doof of the day. I'll keep a little recording it all the times I mess up, so we can get a little counter come the future of how many times I mess up on this. It's what happens when I go too long without playing. I lose my touch. I think my stream just lagged out massively. It did not appear in my game, but I hope it hasn't been doing that the whole time. That would be bit of a problem. Guess I'll have to find out when I watch the footage back. So also notice it's considerably less colourful on the stream than it is on my... But I think that might just be my screen doing that, not the game itself. Probably noticed I'm not talking all that much, but that was never my intention in the first place, really. It was just sort of, after all, since it's meant to be sort of just background stuff, that's why I'm not really speaking. But what is there to talk about? I mean, I've started in the UK, where all the scenery is kind of the same. There's not much to look at. I mean, it's nice. It is nice. It's sunny and it's pleasant to look at, but there's just not much of, like, interest, because it all looks very similar. I mean, it's certainly unrealistic. The UK is not this picturesque. As I was saying before, I was going to keep this particular episode quite short and sweet, but down the line we'll probably have hour-long episodes where or journeys split into multiple parts if they're that long. I mean, some of the deliveries in this game can get up to multiple hours, but I'm going to try and avoid those on this profile, just because I don't think anyone really wants to sit down and watch a video on trucking for 2 hours straight. The hot air balloon up there. It's all very scenic, isn't it? Where's the rain? Where's the concrete? Almost takes away from your immersion how lovely it looks. I don't remember there being so much animated stuff in the old parts of the map. That guy's going fast. Bloody hell. Humbersnickle's getting old, he can't keep up with all these young drivers anymore. Just a bit much. You know, I imagine like my skin stealer looking person behind the wheel and I just get a little creeped out almost. Alright, Glasgow, here we come. Heaven on earth, Glasgow. Nice holiday destination. Now I feel like my wheel is understeering. I feel like it's not sensitive enough now. I'm so picky. Let's up it 60. See if that does anything. Now that's too bloody much. God damn. Or is it? Or is it just right? Ah, that's a secret formula, I think. Or is it still under? I can't tell. My wheel is so big that compared to this like small DAF wheel, it's genuinely a bit confusing. Because I suppose since this wheel's smaller than what I have in real life, it would be it would steer a little less compared to when I'm steering it. Guess that's the only downside to having this massive truck rig is not all trucks necessarily have a big wheel like that. Because I used to work with this old Logitech G29, it was like a racing wheel. It's really small, nothing like what you'd get on a truck. So it wouldn't be quite as immersive, but it was a good wheel, good quality. This, on the other hand, it has just, I don't know, 100 and something buttons. Does all sorts of fancy tricks. Even has a bloody button for the windows. Look at this. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, it's fantastic. I love it. It's just so silly. Literally anything on this truck, you name it in this wheel, can have a special button for it. Meaning stuff like the differential and the axle configurations, and air brakes and engine brakes and all sorts. You're going for the overtake here, you moron. Yeah. Left in the dust. What a loser. The AI in this game, honestly, they're so stupid. It's just like real life. People on the road don't know how to drive. Just like me. I fit in quite well with them. When I eventually get my license, as a warning to you all, you should all get off the road. Ride a bike or something instead. destination now. Let's get this over with. I mean, I'm having a good time. Well, yeah, that is really understeering well. I did like a full 180 turn there, and it barely did, what, like 70 degrees or something? Clearly this isn't quite enough. You know what, my wheel might be something like 1080 degrees, actually. We'll make the steering sensitivity sensitive. What am I on about? Just swerve in the middle of the road, quick test. It's a little under, but it's a lot closer now. If I mean, I don't really want to do a full turn right now. It's nice that we've gone to a quarry for the first stop. That's a little more interesting than your typical depot. Although at the same time, it's a lot harder to park in, so I'm about to totally embarrass myself. But I suppose that's what the internet's for, you know, embarrassing yourself, and no one knows who you really are, so... From the fact that 90% of the people watching this video are going to know who I am. Who gives a toss? Right. Where do you want it? Yeah, alright. Let's go on a little trip down the old quarry here. Got hazards on. And install the engine too. Don't even need to park to embarrass. I start in gear 7, that's why. Yeah. Nah. It takes a bit of time to get used to the old split system on a truck gearbox. So you've got 12 gears to deal with instead of 6. So you have to do a split in the middle, press another button. To get from gear 6 to 7. Where am I actually parking? I don't know. I think it's further down. Where am I meant to be going? Anything but blindside parking, honestly. Wish this was my worst enemy. Too far now. You can see the outline of that. I certainly can't. I have good vision. I don't need glasses. You're telling me that counts? What a load of bullshit. What a load of bollocks. I can't do that. That's just wrong. It's immoral. I'm going to, though. Not my best parking, that's for sure. Not even close. Well, thank you for watching if you're still here. Toodle bit.